It's the 23rd of March, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos, Pesach.
Okay, thank you, Lou. Yeah, good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst, Yeshiva Samanavshi, Yerushalayim. We continue on with our preparations for Pesach, the Hagada for Pesach. Yeah, I guess we'll pick up where we left off, which I think that was, I think the last point we mentioned was the Nitzach.
Do have me mark S. Amalenu,
Okay, yeah, very good.
our burden.
Right. Correct. Okay, let's pick up from there then. Perfect.
I learned something interesting yesterday.
Yeah.
I learned that you can't eat the carpus with a fork.
Okay.
You
Very
gotta
nice.
touch it because you have to get your fingers wet.
Right. That's the point of dipping it. You want to dip it. You have to wash your hands. The reason we're washing your hands is because you're going to be dipping it.
Right.
And in general, if you're eating with your hands, there's no real reason to wash your hands. But right, very good.
Yeah, so that was interesting. That was a chiddush.
Mhm.
I always use a fork because I don't want to get my hands wet. So now I'm gonna have to change that.
Okay, very good.
Okay, and we also went over how to lean. You turn the chair sideways,
Mm-hmm.
you lean on the table.
Okay, right.
Because I always, I'll sit like this and I'll try to lean, and it's very awkward.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try that method and see if that works better.
Sounds good.
All right, anyway. Elu ha-banim kama shene'amar kol habein hayilod hayora tashlichuhu v'chol habas tichayun. Okay, these are the children.
Now, like before we again, how did they vest Amalenu? So how did they translate Amalenu?
Burden.
Okay, now, so just let's start. Elu Abanim, right? Elu Abanim. So just in plain trying to understand logically, what's Amalenu? How's that bunny? How does that translate to the bunny?
Well, it's going to say because they were cast in the river.
Right. So that's a burden.
Yeah, having your children killed is. Well, actually, is it a burden? A burden is more of here, carry this load of bricks.
Yeah,
that's a burden. This is more of a suffering.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand here. Just before we even get started on it,
isn't amal to work, to do effort?
Yeah, when you say the person should be this what we call a melis b'torah. A melis b'torah is putting forth great efforts, right, in his learning, right?
Right.
So again, let's see. One second. Let's take a look. Let's go slowly here. Where's this? Where's this pasuk here? This pasuk again, Ramalenu. The pasuk Ramalenu.
It's Shemos 122.
Hold on a second. Shmos 122. Shmos 122. 22. Sorry.
Paro commanded to all his people, saying, every son that will be born into the river you shall throw him, and every daughter you shall keep alive.
Right.
Oh, it doesn't say anything about Amalenu.
Right. So that's Esamalenu. That's going back to the original pasuk. The original pasuk. Um, uh, mm, okay. Yeah, that's going to the pasuk V'Shema Hashem es kolenu v'yor es anyenu ves amalenu ves lachatzenu. Right?
Right.
That's that pasuk. Now, where is that pasuk? V'Shema Hashem es kolenu.
I think that's in the previous. I think that's
That was in Devarim, I think, right? That was the pasuk in Devarim.
Oh,
Of Zion. Of Zion.
I was thinking Bereshis.
Yeah, that's a pasuk in yeah, that's the pasuk in Devarim Chavav Zion. V'nitzak el Hashem Elokai Avosenu Yishma Hashem es kolenu v'roa es anyenu es amalenu es lachatzenu. So now with the Gemara, the Hagada is darshaning the pasuk anyenu amalenu and lachatzenu. So anenu, that's precious from Derech Eretz. That was precious there. Anyenu, that's an oppression. So that could be considered oppression, right? A person doesn't have the benefit of being um, uh, intimate with his wife. That could be a form of oppression. Okay, so I can follow that. Okay,
Right.
and amalenu. So amalenu. So as you said, Malenu is really like putting forth great efforts. So it's true. I mean, in a certain way, children, the pregnancy for the woman and the birthing for the woman, that's tremendous effort. And also, if you consider, because we're only talking here about the throwing the sons into the river, the ones when they were born. Right, so you can't be talking about like raising the children. We're not talking about children who are beyond the stage of infancy, right?
Right.
So it could be that's what it's referring to. That Amalenu, but it's still, I'll tell you, it still doesn't fit 100%. Amalenu, I mean, say something about our sorrow or something like that, right? Like if we're talking about the loss of the young children, the infants, the tsar that a mother just she just went through 9 months of pregnancy and a birth, and now they come and take the child away and throw it into the river.
Right.
Uh, So I'm still left with a little bit of a lack of true understanding what the Amalena was attaching itself to the children over here. All right, so that needs a bit of an explanation. Okay. Let's continue. Amalenu. One second. Okay, it needs a little bit more understanding on my part. Okay, in any event, let's continue on.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a little bit difficult for me to understand also.
Hey, look, I mean, it's a drasha. It's not Pashup Pshat. It's a drasha. So, I'm willing to to go along with it, but I'd like to understand it more clearly.
Right. Okay, so these children, as it is stated, are all the males that are born. We shall throw them in the river, and every daughter we shall let live. Okay, v'es lachatzenu. My English says our oppression.
Right.
Zo hadchak. This is pressure. Kamash Amar, as it's stated, the gam ra'isi es halachatz asher mitzrayim lochatzim osam. And also, I have seen the pressure that Egypt pressed on them. My English says how the Egyptians were oppressing them.
Uh-huh.
V'yotzienu Hashem b'Mitzrayim. Okay, so that's the end of that pasuk.
Okay.
Now we're on another pasuk. V'hotzienu Hashem b'Mitzrayim b'yad chazaka u'vizro netuya u'v'mora gadol u'v'osos u'v'mofsim. So, and Hashem brought us out from Egypt with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm and great awe and signs and wonders. And that's quoted from Devarim 26:8. So this is that famous Yad Chazakah Vizron Netiyah, which is obviously some kind of a metaphor. V'yotzienu Hashem mitzrayim. Hashem brought us out from Egypt. Lo al yidei malach, not through the hand of an angel. V'lo al yidei saraf, not through the hand of another kind of angel. V'lo al yedei shaliach, and not through the hand of a messenger. Ella, rather, Hakadosh Baruch Hu bichvodo uve'atzmo, Hashem in his honor and by himself. Shneamar, as it is stated, Va'avarti be'eretz Mitzrayim v'layla hazeh. It says, I will pass through the land of Egypt on that night. He Kasi Chol Bechor be'eretz Mitzrayim, and I will slay every firstborn in the land of Egypt. Me'adam va'ad behema, from man to beast. Uvechol Elokei Mitzrayim, and on all of the gods of Egypt. E'eseh Shifatim Ani Hashem. Upon all the gods of Egypt, I will execute judgments. I am God. I am Hashem.
Yeah. Now this last statement, right? Also Shavatim. I mean, I know that it's clear that the Kadosh Baruch Hu destroyed all the idols of Mitzrayim, right?
Except that
right.
one.
Excuse me.
Except that one. That was a test.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, that one by the Baal Tzefon, right? Baal Tzefon. But the question, I'm interested in this expression Shavatim, that why Shvatim. It's also a pasuk, right?
You're talking about the slaying?
Well, also Shavatim is the end of the pasuk. Judgment. That's a pasuk. Yeah.
And that's what Shmos 12:12?
Yeah, that's right. Shmos 12:12. Shmos 12:12. Yeah, it's like the Targum Shvatim is dinim, right? Dinim, Shvatim is judgments, right?
Right.
So what's this point of, like, what's the judgment? What kind of judgment's taking place? Usually a person's judged, right? You judge a person for criminal acts, correct?
Right.
That they judge him because of his crime.
Right.
So how does it apply to an idol? How do you apply that concept to an idol? That as if the idol did something wrong and had some choice of doing right and wrong and chose to do wrong instead of right. Therefore, he's going to be judged for his criminal act.
It seems actually a problem also because it seems to be giving a certain legitimacy to the idols. And we would say an idol is nothing, it's not real. It's just a piece of wood or stone. But you don't execute a judgment against a piece of stone.
Right, exactly. I
This
mean,
implies,
even if it's an animal, let's say, they worship the sed, they worship the sheep, right?
yeah, right,
So, but again, the sheep is not exercising any bechira,
right. You're not going to say, "Well, I'm going to punish this sheep because he ate sloppy."
right? Sometimes if you have a dog and he makes a mess in the house, so you teach him a lesson, so he's not going to do that again.
Right. When you house train a dog, you rub his nose on it and put him outside.
Right, he gets the idea that it's not kedai to do it again in the house.
Right. But you wouldn't call that executing a judgment against the dog. You call that training the dog, teaching the dog.
Yeah, because the dog the dog's not doing anything intentional, which deserves a punishment.
Right.
So yeah, so that's very bothersome to me what this expression shvachim is all about. That Rashi, I think I forgot exactly where the Rashi is. Rashi explains that all the idols of metal melted, the ones of wood they rotted, right?
Right.
So okay, so they were destroyed. So okay, I understand they were destroyed. So there seems to be a little bit of a extra emphasis that's being mentioned over here.
My footnote says the Mechilta explains how executing judgments can apply to inanimate objects such as idols.
Oh, there you are. So you have to look up the Mechilta. Very good. All right, so I have some homework to try and do.
Okay.
All right, good. Let's leave that for now and continue on, I guess.
Okay. What do you make of this mighty hand and outstretched arm? What's that supposed to communicate to us?
Well, that in I understand from that a Kadosh Baruch Hu did it in an open and public way, right? He could have done it in a very secretive, clandestine way, right? But Kadosh Baruch Hu chose to do everything with the makas, 10 makas and on aliyam in a way that was completely open and readily known and visible for everyone to see and appreciate.
I see. Okay.
Like the idea of an outstretched arm that it's showing the might and showing it's meant to show the might and the power, right? Whereas if a person keeps his arm close to his body, so he's not involving his group in a public way.
Right.
Okay, very good. So we have to try and look at that Mechilta.
Okay, great. That'd be good. V'yotzienu Hashem mimitzrayim. Hashem brought us out of Egypt. Lo al yidei. Oh, I read that already. Okay. The varti be'eretz Mitzrayim b'layla hazeh. Ani v'lo malach. V'hi kesi chol b'chor be'eretz Mitzrayim. Ani v'lo saraf. Uv'chol Elokei Mitzrayim e'aseh shifat shifatim, ani velo tishaliach, ani Hashem, ani hu velo acher. So I will pass through the land of Egypt on that night. I and no angel. I will slay all the firstborn in the land of Egypt. I and no seraph. And with all the gods of Egypt, I will execute judgments. I and no messenger. I, Hashem. I am He, and there is no other. So it seems to be giving us some definition of these different phrases: the malach, the seraphim, and the shaliach. My understanding is that an angel is a shliach. So you could ask, why does it say malach in the first phrase and shliach in the third phrase? It's the same thing. And then with a seraph, my understanding is an angel, a type of angel. So it says an angel in the first phrase, and then the second phrase it says a seraph. So is there some significant point being made here? Some significant difference? It's associated the seraph with the slaying of the firstborn.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go into a little bit in more depth, they're very not even they're very clear differences between these things. Yeah, definitely different things which are occurring and taking place. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to go into that. Okay, let's each one of these things they're all special, specific entities. I mean, it's like from from a civilian's point of view, like you read a story about a battle, right? For example, when I was a young boy, I was fascinated by the American Civil War, and I read almost any book I could get myself on the Civil War,
Right.
And so of course, the Battle of Gettysburg, that was the turning point. That was the battle of all battles, and so I read a lot of different books on it, and then finally I got hold of a sort of more of a detailed military report rather than an actual. You read fiction books, military fiction, and then historical fiction. You read the historical books too. I finally got my hands on like a semi-military report. So I went into great detail and actually gave the credit for the Union victory I forget the name of the general, but he was the general that was in charge of the ammunitions for the Union artillery, right? So what the report was dealing with was that since when the Confederates they had 3/4 of a mile charge to make against the Union line, and so they were facing the artillery plus the soldiery and their musket fire. So what the key to winning the battle was that the artillery general, he had at his disposal various different types of cannon fire, right? And they're effective at different ranges, right? And he knew exactly what type of artillery fighter, what type of cannon fire to use at different ranges to make it most effective. So he was given the credit by this particular report of winning, of being the key figure in winning in the battle, because had he not used his cannon fire properly, the charge could have been effective. But instead, he decimated the charge with his cannon fire. And likewise, you have to know each one of these things are different. Just using that as an example, you have different types of cannon fire, so you have different types of orphanemes, orphanim, and all these different types of things that spiritually the Kadosh Baruch Hu commands them and gives them certain spiritual powers, and they have very specific ways of dealing with the physical world. So, again, that's all, you have to know which are which and what they do and what their effects are and things like this. But so it's very similar to the same thing. Okay, maybe let's see, we have another, maybe you want to switch to doing some halacha?
Yeah, I'm kind of fading on this one. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So let's take a hold here with the Hagada. I'll see if I can't look at the Mechilta on that point.
Okay, great.
All right, very good. Let's see. You want to take a few-minute break?
No, we don't have that much time. We're going till 10:30, correct?
Yeah.
And it's 10:15 now, so let's blast through.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right, just
Mishnah Berurah?
yeah.
Mayor, you want to read?
Is Mayor with us? Oh, Mayor's with us. I didn't
Mayor's
know
here
that.
and Robert's here,
Okay, very good.
but Mayor is muted. You're muted, Mayor. If you're talking, we can't hear you. We were on Taf Samech Ket.
Okay, right.
They excommunicate the guy if he does something that they don't like. If he does work on Erev Pesach, they excommunicate him. I think that's the last thing we talked about.
Right, good. Let's pick up from there. Have some. Hold on. Right. So we did Sif Aleph. We were thinking Sif Madhura Memorial. Yeah. Madhura. Zion, do we do Zion? Yeah, let's look at Sif Sif base again, and we'll do the Mr. Brewers then.
Okay. Bameh Devarim Amurim Kisheoseh Malacha Lehis Taker Okay, Bameh, with what things do we say that when he does work, the histakel, I forget what that means.
That's for profit. He's doing work for profit. He's doing these, when he's doing work on Erev Pesach for profit, he's hiring himself.
For profit, Right. Okay, so this is going to define now what we mean when we say he's doing work for profit.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Ramah says, bechinam, or for free, vahu melacha gemura, and it is complete work. Lispor bigadim mamash. What's lispor?
That means it's the sport begadim is sewing, right? To sew is actually sewing the clothes.
Okay, so to actually sew this clothing is a malacha? That's the point?
Yes. Right.
But there's many other malachas. Why is he pointing that particular one out?
That's probably most common. Yeah.
Okay. Aval mechakein misakein hu kelav liyom tov. But what is misakein?
This is to repair. He's meaning that's why the Ramah added. He's actually, there's one thing to sew clothes, but there's other things to make repair. So repairing would be okay. Not takein is repairing.
Okay, so but to repair vessels on Yom Tov, v'chein mi shikosev sifarim, and therefore one who writes misparim.
Right, Sfarim. He's writing.
Sfarim.
Right.
So somebody who writes a book for himself, it's a way of Maudo Matar. I don't know, Lamudo.
If he's doing it for his learning, that's permissible.
Mutar, permissible. Limudo, his learning. Okay, I got it. So he can write a book. What, I guess that's during Nissan. he can
No,
write.
this is all reference to Erev Pesach on the day before Pesach.
Oh,
And afternoon time on Erev Pesach.
so he's allowed to write, to work on his book
Right,
at that time, as long as it's for himself, and it's a way that he's teaching himself.
right.
Okay, a Viter or Mishnah Berurah?
Mr. Brewer, right? See the Mr. Brewer.
Okay.
Love.
Malacha lehish work that he profits from. Uvezeh afilu eno malacha mura aser. And with this, even if it's not complete work, it's forbidden.
Right. Right. So even if it doesn't have to be really any kind of professional or business dealings should be stopped and curtailed on the day before Pesach in the afternoon.
Vafilu im hu litzo rech yom tov. It is for the needs of Yom Tov.
Yeah, even if he needs it for Yom Tov.
Right. Okay, so even if he needs it for Yom Tov, kasvu ha'acharonim de poel she'ein lo ma yochal mutar la'asos malacha lehistakein.
Listaker.
Listaker.
That's the profit. If you have a worker, a worker, she'ein malioko, he has no food to eat. He's simply working to be able to put food on the table, right? So then that'll be permissible. Such a case like that, because he's really working just in order that he should have food for the family, right? So that'll be permissible.
Zeh malacha gemura. And this is actual work. And it's forbidden.
Right.
Ula koveses akum. What's koveses?
That's to do laundry through a goy, to use a goy to do the laundry.
Okay, so laundry by a goy, mutar b'chol gavne. It's permissible for any gavne.
In all cases, ganbe is in all cases. But to use a non-Jew to do the laundry, that's permissible in all cases. Meaning, I imagine that if you want to take it over to the laundromat, you want to have him do the laundry in the house. Let's say you have a live-in maid or something like that, and you want her to do the laundry. So
Right.
apparently that would be okay.
Okay.
It's very common if you have a big family with lots of kids. So, you have 2, 3, or 4 kids, running around, and every time they eat, every time they put the family down to eat, you come, you change the clothes, you have a whole laundry to do. So, so especially if you're expecting a week of Cholamoid, Cholamoid, certain cases you can be makel to do children's clothes on Cholamoid, depending on their age and how dirty they get when they eat. But you might need to be able to do a laundry or two before Yom Tov comes in. Okay.
So let's see, where was I? In the laundry of a non-Jew is permissible with all what's gavne?
Cases.
In all cases, to give after midday. It's written by the later sages in everything that is permissible to do what's bechulo
That that's Chol Shomoy. They didn't. It's not written out by you. Okay, Chol Shomoy. Koma shemutu lasos bechol Shomoy.
and what is this bechulo?
That's those are the intermediate days of the festival.
Intermediate. Okay, so anything that's mutter during the intermediate days of the moed, kagon, for example, davar ha'aved, a matter of something lost.
There's some type of work that if it's not done is going to be a loss.
Something where you'll be a loss. Ha'aved is a loss. Oh, she'oseh ma'aseh hediot. Or to do the work of an ordinary person.
Yeah.
Lo ma'aseh uman.
Okay, Lua, you know what? I have to explain each one of these things individually. And make a mark that we'll pick this up tomorrow.
Okay.
Because we can't rush. Each one of these things is a separate type of permissibility. My umin, davar ovid, surah moed. So we'll have to go through it again tomorrow on this point.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Good.
it's pretty complex. I'm finding it pretty confusing. So it's a good idea, I think.
We can't rush this. Through this one, we can't rush through. Okay, Mitzvah Shem. Hopefully tomorrow we'll clear it up. Oh, tomorrow's Erev Shabbos, right? Okay.
That's right. Tomorrow we will be tomorrow will be regular Friday schedule.
I guess 9:30. We're starting 9:30 anyway these days. So yeah, I guess we'll start 9:30.
It worked out okay for me this morning to get here by the time we started, which was about 9:35, I think.
Yeah.
We ended at 9, and I drove today because I wasn't sure what would happen, but I think I could walk and I could get back here in time.
Great.
So 9:30 is good for me.
Okay, sounds good to me also. Fine. Okay. Very good. Have a good day, Mayor. Good to see you. Hope to see you maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
Bezrat Hashem, we'll see what my schedule's like. If I
Okay.
don't see you, have a good Shabbos, though,
Fine, and good Chodesh to everybody.
and a good Chodesh, right?
Good Chodesh. Good
Very
Chodesh.
Very good.
Bye.
Okay, do we have Rabbi Levitt, Lou?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna go log into him in a few minutes.
okay, I will too. Thank you.
All right, see you then.